right, so today I want to talk about something that I'm very passionate about, and that is why I eat whole food plant based and why I encourage people to go whole food plant based. There is so much research coming out about this right now. I can't even begin to touch on it. So I'm just going to give you a few things that all the research is finding to give you kind of an idea. And if you want to run down that rabbit hole, I'm hoping that you will. Right. So here we go. Why a whole food plant based? I'm going to start with protein. Believe it or not, you are going to get better protein. This is the first question people always ask me when they hear that I'm whole food plant based. They say, well, where do you get your protein, right? Because we are programmed to believe that protein only comes from animal sources, and that is just not the case. A lot of this started, back in the 50s when they discovered that protein was this essential thing in our bodies and we have to have it. So there were certain industries that really ran with that to promote their industries, and they've done a really, really, really good job of it. And that's not to say that protein isn't important. It is absolutely important. It's one of the essential things that our body needs. But you can get all the protein that you need from plants. And not only that, it is better protein. One of the reasons it's better is because plant proteins have non-heme iron in them versus heme iron that animal sources have. Heme iron actually increases the chance of you getting cancers like colon cancer, pancreatic cancer, and lung cancer. Where non-heme iron does not increase the chance of that, actually lowers your chance of getting those cancers. So that's one reason that you want to choose plant proteins over animal proteins. Another is that plant proteins all come with fiber. Animal proteins give you zero fiber, and fiber is absolutely essential for your health, not just for your digestion, but for so many other things. There's so much research coming out about fiber right now and the importance of having that fiber and having a healthy gut for your overall health, not just for your gut health, but for your entire body, for your brain, everything. So fiber is so essential, and you want to be getting it in everything you put in your mouth. Plant proteins are also a really great source of vitamins, minerals, flavonoids, phytonutrients, and antioxidants, most of which animal proteins have none of. Also, plant proteins have fewer calories and no saturated fat, which means they're going to help you in getting to a healthy weight and help you to maintain that healthy weight. And it's also going to help you prevent or even reverse things like heart disease and diabetes and other comorbidities. And like I said before, all foods have protein, all of that. So you just want to be getting a well-rounded variety of them. And of course, you do want to choose a few of the higher protein plant proteins every day to make sure you are getting enough. Get plenty of protein if you're having 50 to 60 grams of protein per day. Get absolutely enough. And you can easily do that through a plant-based diet. All right, so plant-based diet also helps reduce inflammation. Inflammation is really key in things like arthritis, asthma, atherosclerosis, cancer, diabetes, autoimmune diseases. The list goes on and on. There's so many things that happen in our bodies when we have too much inflammation. And animal products increase the inflammation in our body. Plant products help decrease that inflammation. So get the animal products out, increase your plants, and you're going to have less inflammation in your body. And you might be surprised at the things that happen. Plants also help reduce high blood pressure, and animal products increase it. And they also help reduce cholesterol, which is really important. We don't actually need dietary cholesterol because our bodies make all the cholesterol that we need. It's something that a lot of people don't realize. So if you want to bring your cholesterol down and have it just stay where it needs to be, get the animal products out, increase your plants, and then your cholesterol is going to be right where it should be. Another thing that a whole food plant-based diet helps with is it reduces your blood sugar and your insulin resistance and helps level that out, which is, huge if you've got diabetes or if you have diabetes in your family like I do and you don't want to end up with diabetes. This is a huge thing. And there are also other things that are caused from insulin resistance as well, metabolic disorders and things. So leveling out that blood sugar, bringing down the insulin resistance, really key. A whole food plant-based diet also helps clear up digestive issues, and not just constipation, but also things like Crohn's disease and irritable bowel syndrome and other digestive issues. So if you've got any problems with those, whole food plant-based diet is the way to go. And also, it can help reduce the risk of cancers of all kinds. In some cases, a whole food plant-based diet has even helped to reverse cancers. So that's not to say that you shouldn't seek out medical attention if you have cancer. I absolutely believe you should. But you're going to fare so much better if you eat a whole food plant-based diet. And eating a whole food plant-based diet, if you have cancer and you're going through treatments, it's going to help you minimize the symptoms of the treatments, but it's going to increase your chance that you're going to get over the cancer and then not to have a relapse of that cancer later on. All right. Eating whole food plant-based also increases your energy and your brain function. Who doesn't want that, right? And it's even been shown to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's and other dementias as we get older. And I don't know anybody that would want that. So if you want increased energy, better brain function, better ability to think and reason, whole food plant-based diet is the way to go. Also, it's better for the health of not just your body, but of our world in general and this world that we're leaving to our children. And there's so much that goes along with that as well. So I'm not going to touch on all of that, but just know it really does help with the health of our world. And the more people we get to eat whole food plant-based, the better our world is going to be. All right, so how do you get started? If you're really excited about this now and you want to get started, but you feel overwhelmed, I've got a few tips for you. But first one is just to keep it simple. Don't try to do everything at once if it feels like too much. Because this, for a lot of people, this is so foreign. Because if you take all the animal products out, you might feel like I'm left with nothing else to eat, right? So you just need to learn things slowly. So keep it simple. Implement one of these ideas that I'm going to give you this week. See how it goes. And then if it goes well, maybe add another one in next week. And just take it slow until you get to the point that you are completely whole food plant-based. I didn't do this overnight. I took a long time to do it. So first thing, just try replacing the meat in one or two of your meals with beans, tempeh, or tofu. So that might look like if you're making tacos for your family, don't use the ground beef. Use the beans. And you can use whole beans. You can mash them up however you want to do it and add in taco seasoning. And then, put all the veggies on there, all of the veggies, put guacamole on it, so it's sour cream. And so there's a lot of ways to enjoy those things. If you're making a stir fry, instead of throwing the chicken in, put some tempeh or tofu in there. Do make sure that you flavor the tempeh or tofu with something. A lot of people try it and they're like, ooh, I don't like it. They do need flavor in because they are a little bit bland on their own, but there's lots of ways that you can season them and make them absolutely delicious. And they will work in meals that you already are eating. Try using a seasoning or spice such as nutritional yeast instead of sprinkling cheese on top of your food for flavor. Nutritional yeast is awesome. And there are a lot of other things that you could do too. It doesn't necessarily have to have a cheese flavor, but try some other seasonings, see what you might like. You'd be surprised. Replace your milk with a plant-based milk such as soy. I do recommend soy because it does have higher protein content, but any milk products are okay. Any plant-based milk products. Also, add in an extra serving of vegetables to your meals each day. So don't just think about what you want to take out. Add in some vegetables. Add in a serving of whole grains to your meals every day. And I mean whole grains. So like rice, quinoa, full-fed wheat, barley. Like there's so many whole grains that you just cook like you do rice, and then you can add it in to your meals. Eat an extra serving of fruit every day. So we're just adding things. If you can just think about what you want to add into your diet and don't think so much about what you're taking out, but think about all the things you're adding in. Try a new leafy green. When you go to the store every week, try out a new leafy green. So if you are going to have salad, it's not always the same thing. Try some new ones and look for some new fruits and vegetables. Right, here are a few of my favorite whole food plant-based resources. Just a disclaimer, none of these people have asked me to do this. I'm not getting anything by promoting their things. These are just some other resources that have been helpful to me in my journey and becoming whole food plant-based. So I was just the screen here for just a minute so you can jot some of these things down. But these have been really wonderful for helping me just learn the science behind eating whole food plant-based and why it's so important. And then also they have help with, recipes. You hear really motivational stories about people who've gone whole food plant-based and the amazing things that have happened for their health. And then all of them, of course, are just going to give you a lot of really good information about the science behind everything. Here are some of the top whole food plant-based researchers that I have followed. There are many others as well, but they are all doctors who are doing research all around whole food plant-based diets and how they affect health. So they've got a lot of amazing things coming out right now, a lot of really great books that they put out that I've read that are very amazing. So we want to pay attention to some of those people. And that, like I said, there are others as well. These are just some of the ones that I have come across myself. And last but not least, don't try to invent the wheel as you go whole food plant-based. Pick meals that you already love, things that are already staples in your diet, and just find a way to make a whole food plant-based. Don't try to make your family eat completely different foods. Just try to eat your favorite foods and find a way to make them whole food plant-based. And if you need any help with that, I'm more than happy to coach you through that. And I hope you'll join me in being whole food plant-based.